I was in Afghanistan, I was a regional asset. My position had changed again. So first deployment, I was weapons squad. Second deployment, I was on the line. Third deployment, I was in a position where I would help out a platoon that needed my services. Right. So I use technology on the battlefield to track enemies. Is the best way I could describe it without divulging too much. Again, like going out the first two deployments, like felt good. Afghanistan, it was towards the end of the deployment, like going out was just a pucker factor. And so, you know, we would be getting weekly reports of like, hey, don't drive strikers because they're hitting these 55-gallon drums and just hollowing out everybody. Like,
right.
Whereas, you know, you think back in Mosul and like we would hit them and just keep going. Like you might have 2 flat tires and, you know, some shrapnel stuck in the side of the rib cage or something when you got there, but you know, it's something that you'd laugh about. And then Afghanistan, it's like it's standard operating procedure for striker drivers to get in the hatch with 2 loosened tourniquets on their legs. So we're pushing through and we see 2 guys coming our way. We take a knee, they dive into a building. We get up, we push forward. You know, we're getting radio comms that one, they don't know where our target is. They don't know if he's dynamic or not. I'm seeing that our target's dynamic. They don't have eyes on us. They don't know where we're at, aside from we're telling them we're passing this intersection or this junction. And then we walk by that building where those 2 guys just walked in, and it was probably 10 foot from the footpath, a little bridge that goes over into a building, and they're just racking up. They're putting, you know, their vests with all their AK mags and everything, and 2 of them had already had AKs in their hands. The building had 5 occupants in total. First night on third shift that I got, that I was on my own, you know, here's your keys, you know, sign in, do your thing. Sign in, first call that comes out, they give it to me, I go out there. Dude doused himself with gasoline, lit himself on fire, and ran out.
That's your first call at Charlotte?
First call in Charlotte, without a PTO. And I get there and I'm like, yeah, I mean, like, you know, do the things, you know, seek medical treatment, you know, do all the things, right? And then whenever supervisor gets on the radio is asking for status update, and I tell him, expecting him to like come out there and do, but he's on like a shooting where he had multiple victims shot. And this has happened simultaneously in a division that is like 15 square miles or 30 square. It's a very, very, very small. It's the smallest division in the city, and you know, the first night I'm out. This is, you know, I'm thinking, man, we're juggling this, and it never let up. You'd still be surprised at how uncooperative people are, especially if they don't have direct ties to the victim. If it was just like, you know, I've had people be irate about getting Ring doorbell camera from something that they're not even involved. Like they're just a house on a street that we think the suspect vehicle may have drove by, you know.
And just wanting the Ring footage.
They're just wanting the Ring footage.
And people don't want to volunteer that.
And having to do search warrants for it. Yeah.
Really. Like
during that period of time, I had like a victim's mother like smack a business card out of my hand, and I don't want your, you know.
This is a victim's mother.
Yeah, basically like, I don't want nothing to do with you. And when I went into law enforcement, I had plenty of options that I could have done then, and I chose to do it for a lot of reasons, and none of those reasons existed at the time I decided to leave.